Today we want to deal with an elevation projected from the floor plan. Obviously, it has been disturbed, it's been cut. Now we have the door there and we have the window there. I want to show you how to draw an elevation. Now we're going to name this elevation based on the north sign. The north sign here is pointing upward, so that's north. It means then the elevation that will be drawn here will be south elevation. So there we go. All dimensions should be given to you. Right, so let's assume that this is our NGL. So that's our starting position. So I'm going to construct a light line. Okay, now I'm going to use the outside of the wall and project up. Let us say our height for this wall is 70 millimeters. So that's the height there, 70 millimeters. So I'm going to project a light line, right? So likewise on this side, I'm going to project another line. Okay, then on top, it means at 70 millimeters, I'm going to close that up. Now, that is now our height. Remember, at the moment, everything is in construction. Now, if that is NGL, obviously, it will need to be dark. So we're going to make the NGL dark. That's done. So, obviously, your finished floor level, it will be taken from your sectional elevation. So let's assume that our finished floor level is 5 millimeters. Let's assume that is our finished floor level at 5 millimeters. So I'm going to draw a light line again for that to be 5 millimeters. All right. Now, of course, there's nothing that I need on the side, so I may as well make these walls dark and make this wall dark. Remember, at grade 11, or we call it form 6, we call it form 5, we don't need the roof. Therefore, that's why we do that. We close it on top there. Now, I need to project my door. Now, the door, this is the opening. So I'm going to project this door from the floor plan up. From the floor plan, project the door up. Now, what is the standard door height? It is 2000, which is about 2 meters. Assuming that you were using the scale of 1:50, obviously you would have divided your 2000 by the 50, which should give you about 40. But in this case, I may not decide to use 40, or if, let's see, now let us use 40. Now if we divide that, then we're getting 40. That's where 40 is going to be. So this is now our height for the door. So that becomes dark. All right. Where does the door start? It starts on the finished floor level. That's the door. At the moment, it's just an opening. Now remember, we cannot have a door drawn in a single line. Let's just complete the FFL, because the moment we get the door, now it's easy to complete the FFL. All right. Now we're getting the door. Now please take note, I don't allow my FFL to touch the door because it looks like the door is being extended. I leave a gap before I start drawing that FFL. Now, based on that, we cannot have a door with a single line. So I need to assume in good proportion again. I will assume about 1 millimeters away. So I will draw that. I will draw that line there, assuming that I am 1 millimeters away. So what will I do? I will draw that height again, right to the top. Okay, always don't draw a door with a single line. So this will be the door. All right, now we have the door. Now let's move on into the window. We may as well, we're going to project from the floor plan. That's our window from the floor plan. That's our window from the floor plan. So remember, the height of the window and the height of the door will always be the same. All right, so that's why your window should be going there. All right, using the height of the door. That is why we started with the door. Now the window size will be given to you, or should be given to you. So when that is given, then you divide by the required scale. Obviously in this case, let's assume that our window height is about that high. Right, so now I need to construct a window on the elevation. This is the outside part, and that is an outside part. All right, now assuming that this window has got one panel opening and one panel not opening, so it means now we're going to divide the window into two halves. The window that will be given to you, you're going to use that window, of course. Now that is now dividing the window into two halves. So everything here now, remember, when we draw the window, we cannot have a single line again, because that means the window is not there. At the moment, we would have left a gap. So this is why I'm adding all this, showing that this is the window. Right? So I'm going to continue with the window until the window is completed. Now, this is the center. Obviously, I need to have another side here. Okay, I need to have another side here. All this is still in construction. Now remember that the window will have a window sill, of course. All right, so I will then draw the window sill. So this is my window sill. Now I can make this dark. That's dark. That's dark. That's dark. And that's dark. Now what I'm doing now is I'm completing my window. That's dark, and that's dark, and that's dark, and that's dark. Obviously my window sill close there, and then I shall close there. Now we said one panel is opening and one panel is fixed. So how are you going to show that one panel is opening and one panel is fixed? Let's assume that we choose the right hand side to be an opening panel. So it means the hinged is on the right hand side and the opening is on the left hand side. So we need to get half of that first. This is okay, this is half, so this is a midpoint for that. So it means I'm going to draw a line from here that is showing window opening, center line. I'll do the same thing on that side. Center line showing that it's window opening. Now this is a window which is complete. We then label N, G, L. It is wise that you label on both sides N, G, L. What is this line here for? It's finished floor level. Remember, we can put it there, F, F, L, anywhere along the line that is acceptable. Now we need to label this view as what? South elevation. So I will say I will label it as south elevation. So now we have labeled south elevation, and you've got the scale 1:50. Now, this is how we draw an elevation for grade 11. Mind you, there is no roof. We projected the door from the top view, from the floor plan. We projected the window from the floor plan, and depending on what window they give us, we're going to use that. And then please be careful, you need to always show the window sill. This window sill here is what we see there. That's what we do over there. All right, so thank you for watching.